Welcome to our webinar. BayWa is excited to partner with Panasonic on the webinar today. I'm Aaron Bingham. I'm the product manager for BayWa RE. And before we begin, I wanted to tell you about a few upcoming events and give you some more information about BayWa RE. Links will also be shared in the chat for the events that I'm describing. So first up, BayWa RE team members will be at a few upcoming events, including the Midwest Solar Expo, the Flacea Solar and Storage Summit that's happening in Florida, and the MREA Energy Fair. If you're going to be attending any of these events, please be sure to find us and say hi to the BayWa RE team. Here at BayWa RE, we're committed to being the preferred solar distributor for America's solar installers. If you're a US-based installer and not a BayWa RE customer today, please check out 10 reasons why you should be a part of our solar fam. We'll drop a link to that in the chat. And just to give you a little insight into our team, we wanted to share this great shot of our BayWa folks. During the webinar, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A feature that you'll find in your webinar window. And without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our panelists for this webinar. We're here with Vicky Kumar, Panasonic's systems engineer, and Bruce Chandler, Panasonic's Northwest Regional Sales Manager. Vicky and Bruce, please take it away.
Outstanding. Give me one moment. Everybody see my screen okay?
Yep, looks good.
Excellent. Thanks, Aaron. Greetings, folks. I'm Bruce Chandler with Panasonic. We've also got Vicky Kumar on the line, and what we're going to do is walk through how to grow your solar and storage business this year and beyond. So with no further ado, let's jump in. Today, we're going to go over a little bit of the background about Panasonic. We're going to talk about our products and warranty, some of the advantages, and also the competitive aspect of the market, our Authorized program, and some resources that are available. So Panasonic's a 103-year-old company. We're over $60 billion globally. We have close to 250,000 employees, 523 group companies. So the idea is, we're a very diversified company. We've got a lot of experience both in the industry and in other industries. So it's a very strong company to partner with. If you look at our product portfolio, we've really got 7 main divisions. Our second biggest market is the Americas, which most of the business is in North America. And we have several different divisions, including the energy company and a housing systems division, which we are now part of. Also, many of you will know of Panasonic through our battery division. It's actually in several different regions, but one of the manufacturing centers is in Nevada, where we make the batteries for many of the Teslas that are on the road today. We've got a deep history in battery development and manufacturing. We also have some new things that are coming out. Vicky's going to talk more about our energy storage system. We're working on our own software platform, and improved software platform also for that product as well. We've got a hydrogen fuel cell generator, which is shipping in Japan. There's also discussions about offering that elsewhere globally, which we think is going to be quite popular. So we're not, we have a wide range of products in the energy and home improvement sector. Also from our indoor air quality group, we have a product called HomeX, which is really exciting. We've been showcasing this product for a few years. It's really, getting
It looks like we may have lost Bruce. Bruce, it looks like you're actually muted. You may have dropped off for just a moment, and your screen share, it looks like, has dropped out as well. I want to do a quick audio test there, Bruce. It looks.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't touch anything. I'm not sure what happened, but
yeah, might have had a little internet blip. We
Okay.
can't see the screen share yet, though. If you'll try to reshare it here one more time
Okay.
to get that started.
How about now? Give it a second.
Now it's working. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How's that?
Yep, your screen share is now working. We're good to keep going.
Great. We're also continuing to push on the efficiency front for solar cells. So we've got some research underway with partners on perovskite, which is receiving a lot of press lately. So obviously we're continuing on our R&D push on the renewable energy space. And then if, a lot of people, especially nowadays, what is the history of the company? So I mentioned Panasonic's 103 years old, but even in the solar landscape, we started our R&D research in 1975. Our HIT product was one of the longest mass-produced high quality products in the market. That came out in 1997. We've moved on to a new line now, but that was a really successful and high quality line. And if you look at just a couple of the other areas, we've set records for cell efficiencies along the way, celebrated our 21st anniversary a few years back, launched a new energy storage system, and also more recently, in exciting news, Vicky's going to talk more about our new EverVolt energy storage system, and we're also announcing a new line of modules. Talk a little bit about the products and the warranty. So our current product line here on the left, so we have our 370 and 380 watt product. We also have an all black version and a 360 and a 370. Coming next month, actually, we will be up to 400 and 410 watts for our heterojunction product. And we will also have a 350 to 370 watt black PERC product. So again, that's coming next month. The current product line, which is our 370 and 380 and the 360, 370 all black, is shipping with, we're shipping our Enphase IQ7 Plus and IQ7A series microinverter with those. And then with the next version, which is coming out, we'll also be supporting the IQ8 Plus, the IQ8M, and it's not listed, but also the IQ8A, and the entire IQ8 series can be used with our current line as well. So it's backwards compatible. And this is a listing of all of the MLPE compatibility. So for the SolarEdge side, my understanding is the S440 as the P370, P401 for the most part are no longer available. I mentioned Enphase, the IQ7 and IQ8 line. And then for Tigo, it would be the TS4 series. Tigo optimizers, I should say. Talk a little bit for a moment about the warranty. So we offer a warranty called the AllGuard warranty. It's a comprehensive warranty that covers product, performance, and labor if you're an authorized installer, which I'm going to get more into the authorization later. It also covers 25 years on labor. As well, if you happen to be using Enphase approved microinverter, it will cover the labor on the microinverter well. And we even have a couple of racking partners. We're covering the labor on the racking as well. And also with Enphase, the monitoring hardware. So again, the AllGuard warranty, very comprehensive warranty, one of the strongest warranties in the industry. And really the best part of it, it's backed by Panasonic, because we all know the company behind, your warranty is only as good as the company behind it. And that's kind of a summary of the features for the complete AllGuard warranty. And as I mentioned, we do support a couple of racking partners too. So if you happen to be using Unirack or Iron Ridge racking, we also cover 25 years labor on the racking components as well. And Vicky's going to talk more about the battery warranty, but the same all-guard warranty does apply now. This is brand new to the battery components as well. So labor is covered on the battery as well as the product warranty. This is probably difficult to see for some of you, so I'm going to forward on to the next slide, but this is just sort of high level. We're going to show you a resource page where you can download the latest product information. On the EverVolt front for our Black series, you know, kind of the top line things that we're really promoting are the high module efficiency, the triple guard warranty, which I just mentioned. We are using half-cut cell technology. We have 100% potential induced degradation free and also improved performance when shaded. That is part of the half-cut cell technology really. And on the EverVolt module series, which is our black on white, it's a little bit higher efficiency because of the white backsheet. It's the same warranty. One aspect of the heterojunction technology is it is more efficient in higher temperatures. So that's an advantage of the heterojunction technology, which is also gapless. And then we do use N-type cells, which again, you're going to have the low induced degradation. And again, because it is a split cell module, improved performance when shaded. So again, similar features, you get a little bit extra protection on the high efficiency and high temperatures with the heterojunction module. And also, I'm going to turn it over to Vicky now. I mentioned earlier, we have our new EverVolt energy storage system currently in generation 1.5 and getting ready to move to version 2. And as well, we have multiple operating modes in a mobile app. And with that, I will turn it over to Vicky.
Thank you, Bruce. So as Bruce mentioned, we do have our storage system comprising of both the inverters and the battery. So the image that you see here, the left-hand side is the inverter, which in this case, it's an AC coupled inverter. We also have the DC coupled option, wherein the string inverter is also built into the battery's inverter. And on the right side is the battery cabinet, which houses up to 6 of the battery modules that we see. Each battery module roughly weighs about 55 pounds. And we also have the Smart Hub, which is a communication device that connects the system together and connects the system to the internet so customers can view, monitor, and control their systems through the mobile app. So we have taken a very modular approach with this design. So typically our systems can be installed by a single person, and commissioning roughly takes about 45 minutes to an hour once the system is connected to the internet. I will talk a bit more about the process, what it looks like, but from a specifications point of view, the inverter is rated for 5.5 kilowatts continuous AC output, which is roughly 23 amps of current. These systems can be stacked up to 3 units, which means you can get a maximum of 16.5 kilowatts of output power, 69 amps. And for the battery side, we have a 17.1 kilowatt hour capacity battery. We also have the standard option, which is the 11.4 kilowatt hour capacity, wherein instead of housing 6 battery modules, we can put 4 battery modules. And the best part about the batteries is you can house up to 2 battery cabinets to the same inverter. So very, very flexible and I would say customizable based on the homeowner's needs. And as mentioned, it's available in both AC and DC coupled options. In Gen 1.5, it's 2 different units, but I will talk more about our Gen 2 system where both AC and DC coupling can be done on the same unit. We also have the monitoring app, which allows us to control the system operating modes, and it's backed by a 10-year warranty from Panasonic. Next slide, Bruce. Thank you. So this is a quick overview of what our upcoming new app is going to look like. So this is a sneak peek for those of you who have joined us on the webinar today. We do have the following operating modes that the system can currently do. We do have the current version of the app, but this is the next version that we will be launching out soon this year, wherein we do have the backup mode, where the system prioritizes maximizing the battery charge in case there's an outage. We have the residential mode, where customers can use any excess solar power generated in the morning to charge the batteries. And once the sun goes down, the batteries kick in and start supplying to the loads. We have the time of use mode if you do have fluctuating utility rates. So you can see in the screenshot, you can edit the schedule based on the location you're at and based on the utility pricing for that particular season. And we also have several custom mode that can be enabled by installers or Panasonic because it is relatively technically complicated, but pretty much the first three modes cover all the basic requirements a homeowner wants to do with their energy system. We also have a new feature coming up, which will alert the user on any error codes or system issues, so they can immediately address it. For example, if the system goes off grid, the customer does get notified so that they know they are facing a power outage. And if there's any system overload issues, which we do see a lot happening out on the field, we get notified as well. And this is the upcoming app, so be on the lookout for this one. Next slide, Bruce. This is a very high-level overview of what we can back up with a single EverVolt system, or a two-stacked EverVolt system, or a triple-stacked EverVolt system. So with a single system, we can back up basic critical appliances, such as pick any 4 to 6 circuit breakers in the house, such as lighting, internet, refrigerator. This single system configuration, given the power output limitation, we need to be mindful of how many devices we put on this. And that's why it is recommended, if it's a partial home backup situation, backing up all the emergency circuits. If the customer wants to back up more appliances, the option is to stack these systems so that we get more power. And with a typical 2-stacked system, we can do more electrical appliances than what we have listed under the single system. In some cases, we can also back up small air conditioning units. Again, these are contingent upon the current rating of these appliances. So that's what we need to be mindful of when designing the systems. Like, what is the total current consumption of all the different types of loads connected to the system, especially when it comes to inductive loads, such as air conditioning units or pumps, wherein the initial startup current can be very high and can be more than what the inverter can handle. So during an outage, it may trip. So that's why load sizing becomes very, very important when designing the system. Next slide, please. These are the numbers based on which we can design the EverVolt loads, or what loads need to be backed up. So this is a conversation that the installer needs to have with the homeowner at the time of planning for the installation to identify how many units they need. So this is the quick math or the quick specs that we need to look into, which is mainly the output power, current, the storage capacity. The storage capacity here determines how long the system can run, but it is also dependent on how many appliances are connected to the system. And also the maximum PV input for a single system is 6.5 kilowatts of DC power. This is connected across 2 MPPT channels on the Gen 1.5 system. With Gen 2 system, we have 4 MPPTs. Again, I'll talk more about it when we talk about Gen 2. But the best part is, like, the number of, or the size of the PV that can be connected to the system also gets multiplied as we stack multiple systems. The PV sizing restriction is again based on how much the battery can handle in case there's an outage and it's fully charged, or like if it loses some charge, at what rate it can charge back. So it's very, very important to be mindful of not exceeding the limits of the PV sizing here. It is typical practice in the industry to oversize PV inverters by a certain percentage. But with battery systems, it becomes tricky because we don't want to overcharge the batteries in an off-grid situation. And that's why for DC coupled systems, it's 6.5. The good thing about AC coupled system is with frequency load control, or by balancing the number of microinverters connected to the battery system, we can go slightly higher than this. So with SolarEdge inverter, when it's tied to the AC coupled unit, we can go as high as 7.6 kilowatts. Again, we have mentioned it as DC input here because we don't want to oversize the PV array, even though it's like connected to the SolarEdge system and then connected to the battery inverter. So AC coupled is typically used for customers with existing PV array. But if it's a new system, or if it's a new customer who's looking to invest in both solar and storage, that's where DC coupled solution comes of use, because now they don't need to purchase a separate PV string inverter for the array. Next slide, Bruce. This is a quick wiring diagram. Again, very, very simplified. We do have detailed engineering wiring diagrams available for our certified installers. But the configuration is fairly straightforward, where in an AC coupled solution, the solar array is connected to the backed up loads, and there is a load breaker, grid breaker, and battery breaker on the inverter's bottom access panel, which also ties into the grid and also connects with the battery. And for a single system, the bundle includes everything that's needed to achieve the basic single AC coupled configuration. However, in some cases, if the site requires CTs or other items, that is also provided by Panasonic. Next slide. And if the customer wants more backup power, there are multiple options, which is including ATS for achieving the whole home backup configuration. I would like to say it as whole home backup configuration because it's not always 100% whole home backup itself. That is something to be mindful of again when quoting a customer and planning out the system design. So in this case, we can stack multiple systems, have an ATS for switching over during the outage and achieving whole home backup. And Bruce, can you click one more? And we can also add in smart load control options to allow the users or allow homeowners to be flexible with which loads they want to run on the battery and so on. So we do have a couple of installations done with Lumen, and we have like different configurations possible. So we recommend any installer who is looking to install our system and also looking to achieve a configuration based on the customer needs to verify this wiring diagram with us. So that's a part of the step that we take to make sure the installation runs successfully. And Panasonic's engineering team supports them through and through, right from beginning of the planning till the system is commissioned and so on. We also have additional components that is required for stacking systems. So if there is an AC coupled stacked system, then there are some AC relays that are required to connect the PV. This is again supplied by Panasonic. We also have the communications cable kit and the battery combiner for stacked systems. So if you are placing an order for a stacked system, make sure all the accessories or additional components for stacking the system are also ordered. Next slide, Bruce. And for those of you who want to quickly take a look at our installation process, you can scan the QR code, or you will be receiving this presentation later where you can access the link. But these are like roughly 1 to 2 minute videos that walks you through the different steps in the installation of the system on the hardware side. So it's fairly simple, and only thing to keep in mind is certification program must be completed before purchasing a new system. The certification program is designed for installers as well as system designers to get an idea of what are the product specifications and limitations, so that we are being mindful of that when designing the system. Next slide. This is a sample installation of a triple stack system that we have had. And again, as I mentioned, once the hardware is installed and connected to the internet, the commissioning process takes about roughly 45 minutes to an hour. Again, depends on how fast the internet speed is, because the commissioning happens remotely. Right now, we do it on the back end through our portal. And all we have to do is update some firmwares once the system is connected to the internet. But we will have a new mobile app, which will allow the installer to connect with the smart hub locally through Wi-Fi, and also complete the firmware updates. And it will also walk you through the post-commissioning checklist, where you make sure that the system is functioning as it's supposed to. So this will be an app that installers can use to complete commissioning by themselves. We also have our troubleshooting guidelines on our installation manual, page 78 and 79. This is typically used by installers when they are on site and then they see some error code on the inverter LCD display. Again, this is important because all the troubleshooting fixes or the steps that need to be taken on the site are listed out here. So do check it out. And we also have, again, the post-commissioning checklist. We will also be alerted when an error code pops up on the system through the mobile app. So we are trying to increase the support that we have for our installers on the field in case they run into any issues. Next slide. Oh, I see the text is overlapping here, but we do have our EverVolt certification program. This program comprises of the training videos, some specifications, installation manual review, and followed by a quiz that's roughly 20 minutes long. So in order to become one of our certified installers, we recommend you complete this training program. And if you are looking to sell our system, this is a mandatory program, which is tied to the Panasonic warranty as well. For only when you're certified, you are eligible for the Panasonic 10-year system warranty benefits. But in addition to that, you also get a pre-sales design consultation. As I mentioned, if there's any project that you're looking to achieve and not sure how to go about it, or if it's different from the conventional configuration, we will guide you through on what are the components needed, whether it's wired correctly. And you will also get access to our accelerator program folder, which has everything that an installer needs to understand the system, including wiring diagrams, technical bulletins, any manuals, firmware updates, S-chip process for those of you in California, as well as any marketing materials as well. So a lot of benefits once you complete our certification program. So if you're interested in certifying, getting certified, follow the link. And thanks, JC. JC just dropped it in the chat box, so you can directly register there. And you will be receiving another follow-up email with the certification course link. Next slide. And the good stuff. So we do have a new product coming up this year, which is the Gen 2.0 system. It's, again, a modular design, which has a slightly higher storage capacity of 17.5 kilowatt hour per system. This is an outdoor rated system compared to our Gen 1.5. Or Gen 1.5 is indoor rated system. For Gen 2, we have 7.6 kilowatt AC continuous output power, which is 40% more than Gen 1.5. So that would allow you to back up more appliances with a single system itself. And we also have the smart gate for easier connections and backup. The main advantage of this particular system is that the inverter can be both AC and DC coupled. What that means is you can install a PV array along with this inverter on a customer's site, and it can be installed as a standalone inverter, which is battery ready. So eventually when a customer wants to add batteries, they can do that as well. You will be able to monitor energy usage and operating modes from the mobile app. And it is also comes with the 10-year warranty from Panasonic. Next slide. Oh, I think we missed out one slide here, but Bruce, can you just go back? I want to just make one more point on the system. Right. So for the 10-year warranty, I think Bruce already covered it, but it is eligible for the All God warranty, which also includes labor for approved warranty claims on the energy storage system for 10 years when installed by our authorized installer. So just wanted to make a note of that. But I think I'll pass it over to Bruce again. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Vicky. Apologize, there's a construction crew outside, so hopefully my audio is still good to go. Great, let's talk a little bit about some of the advantages of using Panasonic and also sort of the competition or the competitive landscape in the market right now. So what's happening, sort of this year, and it really started last year in the market. We're seeing modules getting bigger. Many, if not all, manufacturers have moved to 66 cell. Pretty much every major manufacturer out in the market now is over 400 watts. Many installers used to really sell based on wattage. That's not really a great way, at least in my opinion, to sell any longer. Enphase is really coming on strong with a slightly more costly but a really powerful version of their latest microinverter in the IQ8. We're seeing energy storage attach rates as high as 30, 40, 50% in some markets, and also some challenges to the sort of traditional solar landscape with net metering, particularly in California and Florida, but also in other states. And then also through our research and research that others have done, we're finding that still consumers are willing to spend more to get better quality equipment and from a company with a strong brand. So that's what we're seeing out in the market currently. So how can we help? So what are we seeing? A couple things out in the market right now. Also, from the supply chain perspective, products are taking, the product we used to get in a month or a little bit more are taking in some cases as long as 2.5 months. We're seeing a global chip shortage. The anti-circ tariff may have been solved for the moment, but there's still legal challenges ahead even for that. And then on the storage front, and even on the solar front, the net metering challenges that I just mentioned that are continuing. Also, if those challenges get solved in one state, it doesn't mean that they're not going to come up elsewhere as well. And then regardless of that, we're still seeing in the market, a ton of demand, both for storage and for solar. In some cases, customers are trying to stay ahead of the NEM 3.0, just in case that's got a negative impact. And also the ITC expiration, hopefully it's going to get extended. So there's still some drivers in the market that we're seeing are still creating an incredibly strong market, especially in California, but really around the nation. And in all cases, of course, you work with your BayWa representative to figure out, what your needs are and timing of product deliveries and so forth. So what do we have available for you where you can help your customers? So this is where I think we're somewhat differentiated from the competition. We have a couple different size and wattage solar modules. So for different roof designs or different energy needs, we have several different models of microinverters to suit individual customers. We're also compatible with all of the major string inverters that are out there. Vicky talked about the battery warranty earlier. We have the same All Guard warranty available, which includes labor for authorized installers for all of our products, along with the energy storage system. And then lastly, from Panasonic, which is been voted America's most trusted brand. And I would say that's a summary, really, of what we're able to offer your customers. This is just a summary of the competitive landscape. This is our product here on the left side, our current EverVolt module that we're coming out here in about the next month, 410 watt versus some of the competitors. In general, if you look at what I think are some of the most important qualities of a module, your power per square foot, the technology and efficiency, of course, the temperature coefficient, which really dictates the power output in real world conditions, and then the warranty. And if you look at Panasonic across the spectrum, we've got the wattage, we've got the power per square footage, we have the warranty, we have the heterojunction technology with the low temperature coefficient. And really, that is very difficult for people to compete against. And in most cases, we're going to have the best specifications out in the market. And all of that, with also the company behind it, which, as I mentioned, we feel is incredibly important, especially in today's world. Talk a little bit about our Authorized program. So we actually have 4 different levels. The most important thing is that once you're authorized, we vetted you. We're going to publish your information on our website so that people can find you and people know, hey, Panasonic is authorized as installer. For installers that only want to do energy storage, we do have a certified installer program, so you can get certified. Vicky mentioned that's actually an online program, so you can get certified to do our energy storage platform. For folks that want to do modules, we have 3 different levels. The base level includes all of the really biggest features, which are you're going to be listed on our website and get marketing support. We're going to give you preferred pricing. And of course, you're going to get that 25-year warranty that everybody wants, as well as some other options. So really important, if you are an authorized installer, it gives you a big leg up in the market. And we think it's a great program, and many, many installers are able to compete effectively, having the authorization or the certification. And if you want to get both certifications, you can do that well. So you can be certified to do storage and modules as well. So we started this presentation talking about how to grow your business, this year and beyond. This is really just a summary slide. So, I've talked about the things, best-in-class modules with the high 92% production output warranty, the leading all-guard warranty that is really unparalleled in the industry. Also being able to offer a complete home energy solution just from one company, not having to offer 3 or 4 different products. And then also the Authorized program, which sets you apart from other competitors that may not be authorized and they're not able to offer the same products or warranties. And then also all of that, as I spoke about earlier, from one of America's most trusted brands, Panasonic. Talk about some resources that we have. So this information here is all publicly available on our website. We've got, the sort of typical data sheets. We have information on all the battery products as well. We have some brochures that are more targeted at consumers. As I mentioned, the data sheets have more of the technical information, but they're also popular. We've got information on sales training, also on our YouTube channel. We've got the certified training program for energy storage. And the next slide I'll show you, we also have local representatives here to support you. And when you get the copy of the presentation, this link will be active, but that's the link right there. We have an installer link on our public-facing North America Panasonic website. These are your Panasonic team members throughout the country. We've got 5 regional sales managers covering all areas from the central all the way through South Central and myself. And then on the engineering front, we've got Vicky and Nate, who are both available. This is kind of showing you how we divide up the country, but wherever you're located, we'll have somebody that you can work with that can answer your questions and assist you. And with that, we'll see if there's any questions, and I'm going to turn it back over to Aaron.
Fantastic. Thanks, Bruce, and thanks, Vicky. Sounds like everybody who's on the call right now or on the webinar right now should head over and get certified as a Panasonic installer. Please go ahead and use the Q&A feature to drop any questions that you have into, to get any questions you have over to us. I did have one question. So once someone is a certified installer, does that certification have an expiration date? How do you manage that side of things? Do folks need to do an install every so often to keep that certification active, or?
Yeah, that's a great question. They do. There's not really a hard and fast rule. We look at several different aspects when we look at installers. So there's a qualification process they go through. we typically tend to authorize larger installers. We think it's a benefit to have a small number of installers just to keep competitive issues to sort of a minimal level. But it doesn't time out on its own. So we basically work with you if you run into a snag. We understand that things happen sometime, but there is a volume commitment they make up front. And as long as the volume commitment is met, they'll continue to be authorized, or in the case of storage, certified.
Fantastic. And if someone, oh, go ahead, Vicki.
Sorry, and for the certification program, we do understand that just theoretical training is never enough. So we also offer video support for installers on the commissioning process itself.
Fantastic.
That when they install the system and they notice, oh, I don't know how to wire this, or I'm having some issues, we will be there on video support, and in some cases on-site support, so that they are able to have a good understanding of the installation in person, and then are able to continue doing it. So whenever the installer needs any help on the installation side, we are able to arrange video support for that.
Thank you both. Another question here. Which certifications does the battery system have? And so I'm taking that as, does it have UL 9540 or 9540A? And forgive any background noise over here. I'm at a conference center right now, so apologies for that.
I can address that one. So we do have the UL 9540 for the Gen 1.5 system, and all the necessary individual certification, wherein UL 1741 and 1973 is also applicable. And we also had questions whether it's listed under the CPUC website. So it is listed on it. So if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to us and we can guide you to find the system information and details. We are also SCHIP compatible with the Gen 1.5 system. Gen 2 system, the certification process is currently underway, so we should have it soon. And that will be for 9540 and 9540A.
Fantastic. Let me double check if there are any other questions that have come in. There was one question that I think you clarified already, Vicki, regarding the warranty for the battery versus the modules, but maybe just go ahead and reiterate that one more time.
Sure. So I think Bruce also clarified this, but the 25-year all God warranty is on our solar system or solar panels. And for the battery system, the warranty is 10 years. So for those 10-year period, if all the other criteria is met, wherein it's installed by our authorized and certified installer, and I need to go into the exact terms, but essentially, sure. If all the modules or all the elements are combined in the right way, the installer is eligible for 25-year all God on the solar panels and 10-year on the battery system.
Great. And how does it work if somebody becomes a certified installer after they've done an installation? I assume that the all guard protection is not retroactive, but can you clarify either way?
That's a great question. Bruce, do you want to address that?
Yeah, so exactly. Once they're authorized or certified, from there forward, everything's going to include the labor warranty or the all guard warranty, whatever's applicable. It is not retroactive. One thing to note is, even if we're not encouraging it, but we do have installers out there that aren't authorized and install our products every day. They still get a 25-year product warranty, which is important. So you don't have to be authorized to install any of our solar products. You technically don't have to be certified to install EverVolt, but we recommend it, and it's the only way you can get the 10-year warranty. And the reason is, as Vicki mentioned, there's a lot of installers, and we want to make sure that the system is installed soundly, and the battery storage industry is still quite young, so there is a reason for that. But that's how it works. It is not retroactive.
And unlike solar installations, every battery system is unique when it comes to the specifications and design limitations. So we require the installers to complete the certification program before they even purchase the system, so that before they commit to a particular design, we want to make sure they have everything covered.
Yeah, I think that's just an excellent general best practice for anybody who's doing battery installations. You know, it's a very new landscape, and it's critical that you get trained, make sure that you are TFM, read the fun manual, make sure that everyone on the team who's participating in that part of the installation has gone through those steps as well, at least as far as the training and reading through the manual go, because it really is essential that everyone on site is on the same page with these battery systems. They're more complicated than your typical PV system, and you really can getting trained, certified, and you know, reading the manual prior to first install.
Yeah, and worth mentioning, we actually, you know, I know supply in different states can be different, but at least in California, there's still some supply issues. We have, you know, probably close to 100 battery systems in stock, and I know there's some BayWa locations that have them. So if anybody is interested, reach out to your BayWa representative, get a quote on a battery, and Vicky and her team will help you design a system that'll work for your customer. So yeah, please reach out.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And you know, for folks who are BayWa customers already, we do have a web store. I think right now the battery may not be listed because it is at a location that we currently aren't listing on the web store, but that will change fairly soon. And so these batteries will be available through our web store as well, which will be very exciting. Yeah, but you can head to our web store and check out other Panasonic products that we have in stock there. Let's see, we got a question. Do you know the SGIP amount in California? I think that varies depending on which utility you're in and which step the utility is at. Vicky, I'm not sure if there's more you'd want to share or anything specific to Panasonic that you'd want to say about SGIP amount.
So not that I'm aware of the amount itself, because we we provide the technical values that the installer needs to file the SGIP application, but I don't have much visibility to the process after that. Yeah,
I think each
at one time it was about $3,000. It's based on the discharge, right? So at one time it was about $3,000, but you know, my understanding is right now SGIP is underfunded, so everything's waitlisted. So right now you wouldn't immediately get a rebate, but it's between $2,500 and $3,000 depending on the system size and so forth. It's actually a fairly substantial amount, and I'm talking about the sort of the general class of the SGIP rebate, not the resiliency one, which is already completely out of funds. So be sure to check with your installer on the availability of those funds. We have a formula that gives you what the rebate is, but it really depends on what SGIP is offering at that, what step SGIP is in, and if they have funding available. Right now, my understanding is they do not have funding.
Yeah, and that I think will be specific to your utility district as well. So you do need to, you know, look and see what it is. If you're in PG&E territory or SDG&E territory, it'll be different. So just be aware of that if you're planning on filing for SGIP.
Yeah, the other quirk for us is I believe our 17.1 system is SGIP listed. The 11.4 kilowatt hour system, which is a smaller system, is not, and we're not going to bother with it at this point because we're you know, we have 2.0 coming up. So if it's important that you get the SGIP rebate, I would encourage folks, first, make sure it's available. And second, if you're talking about Panasonic, be sure you're using a system that's listed, which is our plus size system, which is 17.1 kilowatt hours. So, and we will help you through that when the time comes.
Thanks for that clarification. Let's see, there's another question here. If an installer is no longer in business, can the the end user or the customer where the system is installed call Panasonic directly to claim the AllGuard warranty. And in that case, who would do their system repair? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, typically what would happen is, the customer, exactly, because they call the installer's out of business, they call us. The good news with our network, we'll just hand that over to another installer, even if they weren't the installer that did the initial work. Obviously they're not. We would reimburse them to roll that truck and make the assessment and make the repair, whether it was a battery or a solar module. So that's one of the advantages of being authorized or certified, is that you can tell your customers, because some customers will say, hey, I've heard all these companies going out of business. And it's like, yeah, well, we don't think we're going out of business. We certainly don't think Panasonic's going out of business. But if we went out of business, they would steer you to another installer. And that is all, that language is in our warranty. And actually the end customer, the homeowner, gets a copy of that warranty to prove that the installer is authorized to offer the labor warranty, and that the warranty is also transferable to a new homeowner. And then also that if for some reason the installer weren't able to perform the work or was no longer business, that we would provide access to another installer.
Sorry about that. Had a pop-up that was keeping me from the mute button.
Okay.
Great. Okay, and it looks like there was another comment. Okay, it's just a thanks. And double checking that there aren't any other questions. If you do have any other questions, please go ahead and drop them in the Q&A section. But unless there are any other questions, I just want to go ahead and say thank you to both Bruce and Vicky for joining us today. And thank you to everyone in attendance for joining us for this webinar. If you liked what you learned and want to be a part of the BayWa Solar
Thanks,
Fam,
Aaron. Thanks, Vicky.
Yeah. If you liked what you learned and you want to be a part of the BayWa Solar Fam, go ahead and click the link in the chat to learn more about us and sign up to be a customer today. I'm Aaron Bingham, and I'd like to give another round of thank yous to Bruce and Vicky from Panasonic for providing us with this great information. And thank you everyone else who joined the webinar today. Don't forget to register for our upcoming events, and we'll see you there.
Thank you, Aaron, and thanks to the BayWa team for this opportunity and all the attendees here. So thank you.
Guys.
Yeah, take care. Goodbye.
Thank you both so much. Take care.